The Bengals beating the Raiders doesn't just keep their season alive, it gives them the green light to do something that they never do. And in this video, I'll explain why the clock is ticking for the Bengals to finally act. What's going on, Bengals fans? John Sheeran of A to Z Sports Cincinnati here, and the Bengals finally got a win at home against the Las Vegas Raiders. 41 points to the Raiders 24. Joe Burrow threw for 5 touchdown passes. Chase Brown had a career day on the ground running the ball. Trey Hendrickson had like 4 sacks against a very bad Raiders offensive line. It was an all-around great day for the Bengals, and the good vibes, well, they should not be ending so soon here, because before the Bengals got this much-needed win on Sunday, there was a report that came out Saturday from the Athletics' Danny Rossini that said the Bengals are actually interested in participating in the trade deadline this year. Yes, you heard that correctly. Cincinnati has been, quote, poking around in search of a cornerback and a defensive lineman to get defensive coordinator Luna Rumo some help. Now, no one familiar with the Bengals needs any background information about how shocking this could be if it actually ends up being true, because the Bengals never, ever make any progressive, aggressive moves at the trade deadline. The only 2 moves that they've made in recent history were trading away Carson Palmer and Carlos Dunlap, both players who just didn't want to be here anymore. Just the idea of the Bengals trading away 1 or 2 of their precious draft picks to acquire a player who could help them right now has always been sought after by this fan base, but it's never, ever been put into actual practice. This team has always overvalued its own players and draft picks, which is why you never see them having a fire sale when they're bad at the deadline. You never see them making an aggressive move when they're good at the deadline. But it sounds like they're at least at a point of realization where they feel like they can salvage something out of the season, and they have to make a move in order to do so. And this time, that move doesn't involve them trading away a player for a player like they did with Billy Price and BJ Hill or David Jones and Reggie Nelson right before the season. This time, it means keeping all of your players, but adding 1 or 2 more that can help you out at the cost of something for the future. And if the Bengals were already thinking about this after falling to 3-5 last week, they are definitely thinking about it after beating the Raiders by 17 and getting up to 4-5 this week. Because somehow, someway, throughout all of their inadequacies over the past 2 months, the Bengals are still very much alive in the AFC playoff race. And they know where they are deficient at. It's really just Trey Hendrickson rushing the passer for them along the defensive line. Dax Hill is still out for the season. They do need some help at cornerback. Now, this doesn't mean that the Bengals are necessarily going to go out and get a Marshawn Lattimore from the struggling Saints or just tell Max Crosby to stay in town after they just played him. I'm not sure about acquiring an elite talent here from the Bengals. That still seems a little bit aggressive to them. But if the Bengals are serious about keeping this season alive, they do need outside help, and they're not going to find it right now on the free agent market. And you know what? If you are serious about it, freaking go for it, man. If the cost of it is just going to be a day 3 pick for a player that you know is good right now, what are the odds that that day 3 pick is going to be any better than the player that you're trading for? So long as the Bengals are still alive for the playoffs, and because of this win, that is still the case, I don't have an issue with the Bengals being buyers at the deadline. Be bold, be different, do something that you've never done before as an organization. See if it sparks anything with your team coming off of this win. The Bengals have until 4 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon to do something that they've never done before, and I say, go for it.